What is Aahara Shuddhi and how to apply it as a part of our spiritual practice? There is a verse in the Chandogya Upanishad wherein Bhagavan Sri Sanat Kumar Maharshi teaches Sri Narad Maharshi Aahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhi Sattva Shuddhau Dhruva Smriti Smriti Lambe Sarva Granthi Nam Vipra Moksha. From having pure food, purity of food, comes purity of mind, purity of thoughts. When the mind is pure, one will be able to have a constant memory of the Supreme. By such constant remembrance of the divine nature of oneself, the self-awareness, one is able to be free from all the knots and attain release. One will attain liberation. So we can understand by having sattvic food, it induces such peaceful nature in the mind, devoid of thoughts, thereby helping one to focus entirely on the Supreme Being, and hence one will be able to be freed from all the bondage in life and attain the state of oneness with the Supreme Being. Here we have to understand, just as we have Sattva, Rajas and Tamas as the three different types of food, our mind also functions in the three modes, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So it's basically Annam is Brahman. The food that we eat really infuses such a quality in our mind. So the food that we eat are divided into the three categories of goodness, one which induces the goodness and good feeling in life, one which induces the passion in life. Passion and activity is Rajasic. Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. Sattvic is what really makes one pure, quiet and peaceful. Rajasic makes one passionate, engage in so much of activities and being restless. Tamasic basically are the foods which induces the state of being dull, being lazy in one's life. So here such a sattvic nature of food induces the sattvic quality in our mind, whereby one will be able to focus on the spiritual practice more sincerely and attain the goal of Atmanishta. Ayus Sattva Balarogya Sukha Pridi Vivardanaha Rasya Snigdha Stira Hridya Aahara Satvika Priyaha, says Bhagavad Gita. So the people who want to take up sattvic diet will naturally be able to have a good long life with good health, strength and happiness and peace by taking such foods which are fresh, natural, with a natural taste and being able to nourish the physical body and the mind, so that one will remain in a state of peace and happiness. Similarly, the Rajasic foods induces passion and activity in one's mind. Those foods which are Tamasic induces laziness, sleep, not being able to be active in one's life. So the Sattvic foods are the ones like fruits, the natural vegetables, nuts, the naturally sourced milk, milk products, curd, buttermilk, grains, fresh grains, water, etc. So those foods which are categorized as Rajasic are the ones, the kind of foods which are cooked a lot instead of being natural foods. So cooked with a lot of salt, sweetness, lot of sweets, and all the essential different kinds of spices. So which makes one passionate and makes one to engage in lots of activities. The foods which are of the last category, tamasic, are the ones which are old in nature, which are kind of stale foods, cooked like so many hours earlier, and which are not fresh. So all these kinds of foods, the kind of meat, fish, etc., they are also categorized as the tamasic foods. So we avoid rajasic and tamasic foods and take sattvic foodstuffs as much as possible. When we do that, then our mind becomes quite peaceful, our body is also healthier, so one can focus in the practice of Mahayoga very easily. So here Bhagavan says that sattvic food in moderate quantities is one of the best aids in the practice. Having our food in moderate quantities is very important. Eating sattvic foods so much beyond our capacity of our stomach is also very harmful. It will induce unnecessary sleep and make our mind dull. So we should always have half stomach of food and some quarter stomach of fluids or water, and let us leave some quarter portion to be filled with air, so that one will not feel very heavy and being quite light. This will naturally help us in the practice of Mahayoga, so that one can feel fresh and very active. So what is important here is that one should not try to take one's food when the earlier food that we have taken has not got fully digested. So we should eat only when we are hungry. And while we are hungry, when we eat, we shouldn't eat too much in excess quantities, and take only the portion of food which will make us to be relieved of hunger. See, hunger is like a disease. The medicine for the hunger, the disease of hunger, is the food that we eat. So we eat with lot of focus and being watchful. When the body gives us a signal that the food is enough, the stomach is getting full, then we should stop. So that way, if we follow this practice of having food only when we are hungry, and while we are hungry, when we have food, we should be careful enough not to overeat. So if we keep these things in our mind, then we can definitely be able to take sattvic food in moderate quantities. Thereby it will be of great help in the practice of Mahayoga. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.